everyone, and welcome to my channel. If you've been here before and you've been waiting for like 10 years for me to upload, I'm very sorry. So what happened? Life happened. So sorry. Life just got so ridiculous. Okay, so this is going to be a makeup and mental health, just because like I don't know what to do with myself if I'm sitting here and just talking about like my weird life, so I'm just gonna do that. Anyway, so what happened? I had depression, right? And I was trying to treat my ADHD, but then the depression ultimately was like my worst issue, and so I had to take care of that first. So what did I do? Well, I did a treatment called Spravato, which is a ketamine based medication that you take as a nasal spray, and then you are monitored for a couple hours because you're kind of like messed up, and it helps your depression. It like rewires your neuro pathways and all that type of thing. So did that work? I guess you'll have to stay tuned for that. But then I also ended up doing TMS as well, which is basically electroshock therapy. So I have videos that I want to do on both of them and just kind of give like my 2 cents on how my experience was with both and the pros and cons of both. This video today is just honestly going to be more of like an update on kind of everything that's been going on, because I mean, if I went into super big detail about anything, we would literally be here for a month. And I'm dropping things. Anyway, so I am actually depression free for probably a month and a half maybe now. So, you know, like I said, stay tuned for those videos because they will be coming out soon, because I just have like, I feel like I have a lot to say and I don't know. So the reason why I don't upload, because I'm anxious. I'm an anxious little person, okay? I don't like the sound of my own voice, this and that. Mental health issues, right? Okay, so, and that's kind of what this whole channel is going to be centered around, is kind of like the actual struggles and day-to-day life of people with you know, mental illnesses. If you looked at me, would you be able to tell I have mental illness? Probably not. I mean, I don't know, unless I look really crazy. So I mean, maybe I do look crazy. It wouldn't be wrong. It wouldn't be a wrong assumption. But you know, it's like it's really difficult when you're fighting invisible diseases. You know, like my biggest invisible disease, other than my mental illnesses, is my fibromyalgia. So, you know, people are like, yeah, you look fine. I'm like, yeah, but my body feels like rope burn. You know, it's just one of those things that like nobody can really understand unless they've had it themselves. I feel kind of the same way about mental illness. Like, if you have met somebody that is completely you know, mental illness free, which like, wow, that's amazing, good for you, you know, and you try to explain to them the effects that depression had on your life, I mean, they're not going to really understand. Some people have empathy, some people have sympathy, and then some people just don't, okay? Some people are just like, just be happy, life is too short to be sad, blah blah blah. And it's like, if that saved people's lives, I'm pretty sure that the lives that have been taken by depression wouldn't have been. You know, if that worked, then everyone would be fine, wouldn't they? Whole other thing. I have a lot of opinions. I have a lot to say about people that don't understand mental health and people that do have mental health issues, and they, they feel like they have nobody to go to because nobody around them understands. And I totally get it because, I mean, I've been there and I am there. Not everybody's going to understand. Most people are not going to understand. And you just kind of have to find like your family in that, right? Like you have to meet other people that kind of have the same struggles as you to kind of get that, like, oh, maybe I'm not that crazy. Maybe, there's someone else out there that understands. Anyway, I'm ranting. I don't know what I'm saying now. Okay, so depression took everything from me. I had really severe depression for about 2 years. I just completely wasn't myself. I was just this shell of a being, right? It was really hard for me to function. It was hard for me to get out of my bed. And that's what I did. If I didn't work, I was just in my bed. Is that healthy? No. But is that what you do when you have depression? Yeah. Because it's just the only thing that feels okay. And I just, it's hard to explain to anyone that has never had it. It's just like, yeah, you feel like you literally can't cope with your life. And so you just sleep. And so that's what I did. And now, I got rid of my depression, so that's great. Fantastic. Wonderful. Why don't I seem very excited? Well, life just keeps happening and happening and happening, right? So, got through that. And then, I went through an extremely bad, like, the breakup itself wasn't bad, but my reaction to it was bad. So I had a breakup, and then here's a trigger warning about EDs. If you're sensitive, if you have, encountered that before, if you've had that and it's, not supportive to your journey to listen to it right now, then, come back in like a few minutes. Just skip forward and, or just, watch a different video that I upload, okay? Don't want to trigger anybody with that because I get that it spirals because that's exactly what happened to me. So I had battled with a certain ED where you don't eat, and that started when I was a teenager, and then it pretty much stopped whenever I got into a better place in life. I was with my now ex-husband, and then at that point I ended up binge eating, not purging, just binge eating. And so I went from being very small to a lot bigger. And then, that also messes with your brain if you have trouble with disordered eating. So, I want to be candid that I am still battling with that. Is it better? Yes. But is it like perfect right now? No. But better every day. And that's really all you can ask for, right? Just to feel a little better every day and just making any progress. You get so frustrated when you don't make progress right away. But you have to realize that you're human and you're going through something that's really tough. And it's, again, something that people don't understand unless they've gone through it themselves or they know somebody who has had it. And, of course, all day long, my mom even does this to me where she's like, just eat. I'm like, if it were that simple, I would not be having this issue. My mom, just saying, I wouldn't have this issue. But yeah, so that ended up happening. And then I ended up having a consequence to that. It's so difficult trying to like word things to where YouTube doesn't freak out or something. I don't know. And to be like, neutral and not, whatever. Anyway, so, totally forgot my line of thinking there. So I had consequences from not eating. I ended up, I honestly wasn't even dehydrated. I just had a lot of stress on my heart. From the breakup, I was very distressed. I was devastated. I couldn't eat as a result of that, and it triggered, my ED that I already had, and I had already started going down that path before the breakup, and then the breakup just kind of like exacerbated it, and it was really bad. And so, I ended up passing out in the elevator at work, and luckily I work at a hospital, so it's so embarrassing, honestly. It's just so like, ooh, I can't believe that happened, because it's work, and people there know me. And so I just remember I did feel a little faint, but I mean, I get that way. I feel faint often, and that's coming. Okay, there's a reason behind it, but so that particular day, all I know is that I got out of my car and I was going up the elevator to go to my floor. I started feeling faint. One of the nurses that I know very well was in the elevator with me, and I started feeling like actually super duper duper faint, worse than I've ever felt before in my life. I started to put my bag down because I was going to ask her for help. Next thing I know, I am looking up at the ceiling. There's a million people in my face, like tapping my face. They're like, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay?" Da 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 da. And I'm just like floored, flabbergasted, freaking out. I'm like, what is going on? But my body feels mostly dead at this point. Like I just feel so, because I mean, I lost consciousness. I had never lost consciousness before. So that was a thing. That was a thing. So, um, I got the emergency response called on me. When they finally got a thing on my finger, which was like a couple minutes after I had woken up, my heart rate was 66. When I finally got down to the ED, oh, okay, so normal people call it ER. We call it ED because it's emergency department. So just, if you're like, what is an ED? Anyway, so yeah, ER. So they took me down to the ER. Then when they got my blood pressure, it was like, I think the first one they had taken was like 80s over 50s or something like that, which is extremely low if you don't know anything about blood pressures, right? And then I was kind of stabilizing, but I was kind of staying at like the 90s over 60s, 90s over 50s, 90s over 40s. And then they gave me fluid. My blood pressure was going up, but it was still kind of soft. And, and it was one of those things where you had to be honest. No one wants to tell their practitioners that they have an ED. Nobody wants to tell them that, because it's like, it's embarrassing almost. It's a shame thing. Or at least that's how it felt for me. I didn't want anyone to know, but I had to tell them and be like, yeah, this is what's going on. And they're like, nobody's worth this and that and whatever. And I'm like, no, like I just have that in general. And then the breakup just made it 10 times worse. But, so that happened. Then, ever since then, I still wasn't feeling right. I still couldn't walk more than like 10 feet without feeling like I was going to drop to the floor. And so I had to go back to the ER a couple days later. had to get more fluids. Then what happened after that? I went to the cardiologist. Then, I'm just like embarking on this journey of trying to figure out, what the issue is, because I've had this fainting issue for years, but I've never actually lost consciousness before. And so now that I have finally lost consciousness, I wasn't feeling any better after the initial ER visit. I went and saw a cardiologist. I saw my regular doctor, and she referred me to him. Then we did a heart monitor, and then I did an echocardiogram. And if you don't know what an echocardiogram is basically like an ultrasound for your heart. So they just get you all naked and then they look at the structure of your heart to make sure that there's nothing structurally wrong with it. And there is a leak in one of my valves, but apparently it's not super bad. It's not super bad. So they had nothing really to say about that. They're like, no, that's not what's causing your issue. Your issue is on the telemetry strips from my heart monitor. My heart rate just spikes when I move. When I move, my heart rate just skyrockets, and then my blood pressure plummets, and then that's when I feel like I'm going to pass out onto the floor. So that's what was happening to me, and that has been a thing for years, and I finally got clarity on it, and so thank goodness, right? Now I have answers, and I'm on 3 different medications for that, and it's a lot. So that's kind of the things that have been happening to me. It's been a whirlwind, like everything has just been difficult. My mental health has been really rocky, especially ever since my breakup. It's been just hard. And then so I haven't even had time to worry about the ADHD or anything like that. If that's, why you come to my channel is for the ADHD content. I mean, I am so far removed from that situation because my anxiety and my depression and my heart condition all kind of took precedence over that. So now that my depression is gone, this is kind of weird, and I kind of want to do something about, like, more in depth about it. But when you come out of a depression, right? I had depression for like 2 years, and I really lost who I was as a person. I forgot my funny little quirks. I forgot the funny things that I used to say and do. I forgot, all sorts of things. I'm a very, silly person. Very silly, very weird. I make weird noises for literally no reason. And, I'm kind of like the life of the party when I go to parties. And I'm just wild and rambunctious and all the things, right? And I forgot that was who I am, because my depression took so much from me, and it's really sad. But now that the depression is gone, it's so weird. It's like it's an adaptation of going back to where you used to be, right? But different. Like, you're yourself, but you're different. So you're basically being reborn. You're trying to figure out who you are, who you were. Does this still resonate with me? It's so weird. I just wish that I could find a better way to put it, because I feel like I'm not making any sense right now. But it's so weird. I don't know. It's like I just am a whole other person overnight, which I mean, it wasn't overnight. My depression healed itself over many months. I mean, it didn't heal itself. I did treatment for it. Not severe treatment. I did intensive treatment for it for months, and now it's finally to a point where I'm like me again, and it's just trying to figure out what that exactly means, what it means for me as a person, what it means for me for my channel, for my future. You know, like what do I want to do? I'm old. I mean, not really, but you know, I'll be 29 soon, and I feel like at this age I should know what I want to do in life, and I just don't. And you know, that makes me feel kind of less than, like, you know, everybody else is doing really well, this and that. I'm not saying I'm not doing well. I mean, financially I'm not doing well, but I mean, I do have a good job, which is great, so good job on me for that. But you know what I mean, you're figuring yourself out all over again, and it's just different. So that's where I'm at. That's kind of what's been going on the last few months. So that's why I haven't been posting content, is because I haven't had time to worry about my ADHD, because I was worried about a, you know, deadly mental illness, and then also a heart condition, which, you know, like, if the leak in my heart gets worse, that could be really serious. But for right now, what I have going on is, it seems to be quite manageable. I'm taking medication to increase my blood pressure and lower my heart rate, since my heart rate is astronomical. So apparently medical professionals and stuff, and people that understand, right, you'll understand this, right? The highest my heart rate got up to was 167. He told me that today. I finally got to talk to my doctor. We were playing phone tag for days. We were playing phone tag. I was just like, what the hell's going on? Da 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 da. You know, because I almost passed out in the shower a few days ago, and so then I had to sit in the shower. Yes. Could I have made it a bath? I sure could have. But did I do that? No. I don't know why. I just kind of, like, I just sat there instead of making it a bath. I should have just put the stopper down and just made it a bath. But no, I just sat there and had the water running over me like I was a little emo kid again, you know? So, God. So then I kind of lost my mind on my doctor on Monday, because I just saw in my portal that I had a leak in my heart. Nobody called me to tell me this. And so then I was worried, and I was like, what the hell? Like, you guys are not going to call me and tell me that I have a leak in my heart? Like, am I okay? So then they were like, no, that's not your problem at all. Your problem is your heart rate. Da 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 da. Here's metoprolol. Da 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 da. So I do feel better since being on that, because I have really bad anxiety. And, you know, like, when your heart is racing, I mean, that just sets off a domino effect if you have anxiety. You know, it's just like, it does not feel good. And you just feel like you're gonna die, basically. It's fantastic. Kind of feels like your heart's just gonna explode into confetti, and it doesn't. And it's a lot. Anyway, so that's where I've been, okay? I've been to hell and back. Am I really all the way back from hell, though? I mean, not really. I'm almost there, just still tweaking medications, this and that. I feel like I do have a lot to say, and I do want to do makeup and mental health, and that was kind of what my idea was before my life spiraled literally out of control. So, I just want to thank everyone who has been commenting on my videos and being so sweet and so supportive, and, you know, lending your own experiences in the comments. Like, I read every single comment. I love to hear you guys talk about your own experiences, because we all are the same but different, and that's, it sets us apart, but it brings us together. And I'm glad that I'm kind of like in this community where people understand the ADHD, and I'm hoping that this will reach people that also have, the ADHD, depression, anxiety, and you guys will understand and you won't feel so alone. Sometimes you just need to feel like there's someone out there, and it makes you not feel so crazy, you know? I had to watch a lot of videos about people going through breakups in order to feel like I wasn't so crazy for crying 2 months after. You just kind of need that solidarity in a community. So I just want to thank you guys for that. And I want to thank the person who commented and said that they really wanted to hear an update and see where I'm at and where I've been and everything. Thank you so much for being so kind. So this is where I've been. I'm here. Barely, but I'm here. But I do want to do a video about Spravato, and I do want to do a video about TMS, because I feel like those are two things that are used heavily now in psychiatric facilities, and it could really help somebody, and it could give you kind of the insight that you need. It might give you like the idea, if you've never heard of Spravato, if you've never heard of TMS, these are really great tools that you can talk to your psychiatrist about and see if they help you. Because honestly, life without depression is so beautiful. I almost cry about it every single day. Not having that dark cloud in my head feels so liberating. And like, oh gosh, I'm like trying not to tear up. It's like, I can't even describe it, but I feel better again. And sorry, goodness. Yeah, so so those videos will be coming soon, I promise. Sorry that I don't upload very well like other people. I am honestly just such an anxious person, and I get worried that, no one cares about what I say, no one cares about what I do. Like, I'm just one in a gajillion. Like, why do I matter? But that's kind of a different video, as I'm on a self-love journey, self-worth discovery. We'll get into all of that, I promise. But until then, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this really chaotic video. And I will see you in the next one. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.